Okay, I'm with Alan McCabe, who is the Chief Examiner for Cookery here at Worldskills. Quite a responsible job, Alan.
I think the title sounds fancy, but it's basically an organiser. So each skill here at the show will have a chief examiner who helps organise the ins and outs, the nuts and bolts of the competition. So us, along with our event partners, Event House, will organise sponsors, we'll organise the layout, we'll work with W Design in relation to the layout of each physical space. And this is our third year, so I think from coming from 0 to 3, we've made huge progress. I'd equate what we have set up here is very similar to a Worldskills International event in quality. Smaller event, but the nuts and bolts of it are...
How many young Irish apprentices will be competing here, and how do they qualify?
So there's 32 skills and there's about 150 to 70 apprenticeships competing here over 3 days. And they're the best in the country, so they will all have done a preliminary in their own...
Well, in the cookery side?
In the cookery alone, there is 5 finalists, and they were bottled down from 10 people who applied through their colleges and institutions around the country. They will have all done a preliminary test to become the 5 finalists that we have here today for the next 3 days. So they have 3 days of cooking and 7 different modules to complete.
And each competitor, do they prepare an entire meal or just a dish? Or
it's broken into the modules. So the process starts off where they're issued what we call a test project, and the test project will outline each component that they have to follow. They're then giving a shopping list of ingredients they can choose from, and they select themselves, so it's very much on their responsibility. They can select themselves what ingredients they want to use. We're very focused on sustainability, so in relation to the ingredients, there's set quantities. So it might be a kilo of tomatoes, so if you want tomatoes, you make sure you're going to use a full kilo, or you'll lose marks for leaving stuff over. So that it gets them thinking about making sure that they're quite regimental in the sustainability element of it. And then the cook so this morning started off with, because it's the first morning, we keep it simple, it's vegetable plus egg cookery. They have tapas to do for this afternoon, so they have a meat, a fish and a vegetarian tapas to produce. Tomorrow they're on stuffed pasta and a pork dish.
So it's quite a wide range of skills.
So we try to cover basically everything that happens in the kitchen.
Will some of these students here have a chance of representing Ireland then in the next Worldskills next year in Lyon?
Yeah, hopefully so. So we have the winner from 2022 is still eligible from an age profile point of view, because there's an age profile for Worldskills International of under 22 in the year of the competition. So himself, along with potentially there's 2 or 3 of these are a really good standard. We'll then pull them together, we'll do a few training sessions, and from that we'll select somebody to wear the green jersey and represent our country next year.
Yeah, Worldskills itself is an enormous event, isn't it? More than 50 countries from in all sorts of disciplines.
Yeah, so
and Ireland has done well at it in the past.
Yeah, we very much punched above our weight. So at Worldskills International, there's over 50 countries, sometimes 55 countries, in 55 or 56 different skills. And cookery, as it happens, is the biggest skill at Worldskills International. So at last time round in Kazan in Russia, there was 48 countries competing in cookery. And Ireland as a country have, in Kazan, we finished 10th in the world out of 55 countries.
A great achievement.
Yeah.
Well, we hope they'll even do better this time around
hopefully
in 24.
so, and hopefully so. And I think as an organisation, we have a better structure in relation to preparing for the following years.
Yeah.
So we'd like to see the fruits of that labour transpire into medals when the time comes.
They'll be well prepared. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us, Alan.
Thank you.
I'm with Roderick Bastenberg, who is with the Aloft Hotel here in the Liberties in Dublin, but is here at Worldskills representing the Irish Hotels Federation. Roderick, what does the Irish Hotels Federation do to encourage young people to come into the industry?
I think at the moment what we're trying to do here is trying to explain to the younger people that hotels are not only what they see when they come into the building, right? So we asked the simple question, what jobs do you know in a hotel? And many say, so food and beverage or a receptionist. But I think today for us in the stand, it's really important to explain to them that there's front of house, but also back of house, as in accounts, sales and marketing. We have engineering, we have human resources. So it's more giving them an explanation today about the different areas that they can find and making them a little bit more wiser about how a hotel operates and what opportunities they could pursue in the future.
Well, are there opportunities for young people to come into hotels in skill areas that are other than food and beverage? In other words, if you wanted to develop as a human resource manager, could you start off in a hotel, or would you need to get experience elsewhere?
I think if I look at what we do in the Aloft, we love educating and training new talent. We're not scared to develop people. We love to promote from inside of the hotel. Rarely we look for external opportunities. So I say yes, there's definitely plenty of opportunities. Obviously, there needs to be the willingness from a person to learn, to be hungry, and to have a specific goal on what they want to be.
With that too, if you have such a wide range of skills, there's always the possibility that people will join and then move on into other industries, as well as moving from other industries into hotels. So is retention a big issue for hotels?
I think retention in general is an issue. I think when I look at what we do in the hotel, our retention is actually really good. We promote inside the hotel that people can move to different departments where the opportunity is there. Obviously, it's not always possible, and I think that we're quite open to that as well, that we develop from the inside. We train people. If they want to learn in different departments, we write training programs so they can experience and gain experience within the hotel. Obviously, in the hotel that we have, we're a small hotel. We don't have that many different levels in front office, for example. So when those people gain the knowledge, and if we don't have to position there for them to move higher up, then of course it's very likely or impossible that they move on to different properties.
We live now in an Ireland, very unusually, that has pretty much full employment.
Yes.
So there's a lot of competition there to attract, staff. So what would you say to the young people here today who might be looking at other options? What would you say, to come to the hotel industry as a career choice?
I think that hotel industry, you need to have a love of working with people. I think if you work in the front of house, you need to be energetic, you need to be able to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. If that's your passion, you're in the right place. Skills-wise, I think everywhere in every hotel industry of every place that I worked is that people that work in the hotel industry, they're passionate at what they do. Me personally, I love to develop people. So even if you don't have the skills, try to make a start and build on that. Find the right people, don't be afraid to ask questions. And what I always say, try to be a little bit nosy and find out for yourself.
Well, I hope a lot of people today will try to find out for themselves and will be attracted to the industry. Thank you indeed for talking to us.
You're very welcome.
I'm with Sonia Smith, the Irish Hotels Federation Employee of the Year for 2023. Congratulations, Sonia.
Thank you very much.
What have you been doing since you won this award?
Still working anyways, done a reception in the Cahernan House Hotel.
Yeah, and have you been there since the start of your career?
I have, yeah. So when I was in school, I actually started in accommodation down in the Cahernan. And then when I finished school, I was like, I needed a little bit more. So I went into I actually only started in turn down service. And then when I finished school, I decided I wanted to do more, and I went into the accommodation. And then just in 2020, March 2020, one of our receptionists left. So Emer Corrigan got on to me and she was like, look, would you be interested? And I was like, I'll give it a go. So ever since 2020, then I've been in front office in the reception.
Well, working in from Kerry and
Yes.
Killarney particularly, it's the centre of tourism in Ireland.
It is.
So was it always on the cards that you would end up in tourism?
Definitely, yeah. It was like, when I was in school, it was like all you really thought about was getting a job, and it was always going to be in a hotel, definitely down in Killarney. Like, it is a huge tourism spot. It is mainly like every second building that you go to is a hotel or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're in reception now.
I am, yeah.
So that's an area where you meet customers very much. So what makes a good receptionist?
Oh, definitely somebody with great people skills. Yeah, oh God, you have to be able to just, anything can be knocked at you, so you have to be able to just work with it and anything that comes at you like that. You know, someone that is always going to have a smile on their face greeting people, you know, you could get anything inside there, so it's great to have those people skills for you, especially working in reception, yeah.
And do you see now the possibility of developing your career through Carnan and the group? And where would your ambitions lie? How would you like your career to develop?
So like I said, I started off what some people might think at the bottom of the crew there. So I was only doing a couple of hours in turn down service, and I worked my way up, and I'm now reception supervisor. Like, so I do think, like, yeah, I probably will go a little bit further. I might go off and do a little bit of management, something like that, and hopefully then I could be a manager of the hotel. You know, one of my friends was down there and he started off as a waiter, he's now deputy manager, you know, so it's great to see that there is possibilities to extend your career down in hotels.
Well, there are many young people here today all looking at different options. What advice would you give to young people if they're thinking about a career in tourism and hospitality?
I think definitely go for it, because it offers you so many different careers and different paths that you can take. I said in my interview actually to becoming IHF Employee of the Year that, like, there's just so many different opportunities that you can get from hospitality. I said if you wanted to go travel, it's a great one for traveling as well. If you wanted to meet new people, it's so fantastic for that. You know, there's so many different things that you can get out of hospitality, and it's fantastic.
Well, we hope you enjoy every minute of it, and thank you very much for talking to us. I'm with Becca Sweeney, who is the youth spokesperson for Chef Network. Becca, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on this very prestigious appointment.
Thank you.
Do you have to do a lot of speaking on behalf of Chef Network?
I'm actually doing a talk at 1:45 today, and it's basically to discuss the launch of our new Open Kitchens initiative.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about this Open Kitchen, because it's a wonderful idea.
It's a great opportunity for whether you are a student within the industry, or if you have any sort of interest in going into culinary, or even if you're looking for a career change or just a change for a different environment of kitchen. It's a great opportunity to sign up, get a full day experience of what it's like to be a chef. So currently we have 50 different establishments signed up that have all agreed to our workplace kitchen charter as well, which means they're promoting a positive kitchen environment.
So anybody can call them and say, I'd love to see your kitchen.
100%.
And they'll facilitate it.
That's it. So it's basically a day of the life of a chef. Learning about the different roles and responsibilities, the hours, and really it's a great way to diversify as well. I think when people think of kitchens, they think of a one-way street, but we have a variety of pastry kitchens, restaurants, bars, even product development kitchens, so it's a great way just to...
Well, you were in that position not that long ago,
Yeah.
So what made you choose a career as a chef?
I actually originally applied for a science course, which I don't know why I was thinking of doing it at the time, but I hadn't a clue what I was at, really. But there was always like an influence of food in my family between chefs, fisheries, farmers and whatnot, so there was always a love of food. So essentially what I did is I put it on my CAO anyways, just in case. And luckily enough, I didn't get the science course because little did I know what was ahead of me. But it wasn't until I really stepped in the kitchen that I absolutely fell in love with the industry, and I've been in it since.
What do you like about it?
What I love about it is the creative freedom. I love working with producers as well, and they have whatever might be on the day, and you can just take it in and develop a dish from that. And just the teamwork as well, and the excitement around food. And I feel like food is a good mutual love that everybody has, so you connect really well with people.
Well, what would you say to young people who are here now today and maybe are looking at a wide range of options? What would you say to encourage them to choose the restaurant or the hospitality industry?
I'd say sign up to Open Kitchens, because you don't know until you step behind the walls. So
have a look at it.
Have a look at it.
Well, I hope you get lots of people walking through your open doors.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Well, I'm in the great company of Michelin Corr, director of the firm. Michelin, we have finally managed to get 2 Corrs into this video.
We've got 2 Corrs in Corr's Corner.
We have indeed, yes.
Can I call you Dad?
Except I'm the one asking the questions today. So, Michelin, why are you and the firm here at Worldskills?
We're here to showcase the many varieties of work that are available in hotels, venues, hospitality. You'll see behind me some examples of the great real jobs, and we're also putting out packages and salaries and giving a really future-focused story to the students who are here today. And you know, they're very curious, so they're engaging brilliantly and wanting to know, you know, what's behind being that job title. You know, what does it mean to be a revenue specialist or a digital marketing person or an event planner? So I'm having fantastic conversations, and I suppose, like everybody in the room, doing some great storytelling for our industry.
Do you think that many of the people, young people you're speaking to, have a perception of the industry that it's mainly chefs and receptionists and hotel managers? They're not necessarily aware of all the other career opportunities within hotel keeping.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think some of the visual things that I've been showing them has really engaged, and you know, they want to know what kind of remote working would be involved. You know, do we pay healthcare and insurance and pensions? And I'm glad to say that these are all things that we've addressed recently in the industry, and proud to be able to say we do.
Would you get the idea that the young people kind of know that, or it's a surprise to them?
To be honest, the audience here is quite naive. Some of them have jobs, but mostly in retail. So they have some work experience, but they're still very young. So as I said, they're here at a beginning point, and there's a very big number of careers here today, as you probably saw. So,
and if they do come up to you on the stand and say, Micheline, I'm thinking seriously, you know, when I do leave school and move on to college, of choosing a career in the industry. Apart from registering with the firm, what else do you say with them?
Well, I'm probably not much used to them until a little bit down the road, but I do advise them to go ahead now and start talking to the various colleges about the different kinds of specialist courses out there, you know. And I do tell them my own story, because it's possible to start in one aspect and build your career in another. And I have the great privilege of knowing those stories. So I've been telling a lot of those stories here today. I'm going to be Corr's by tomorrow.
And I think I know your stories, so thank you very much for talking to us, Micheline.
Thanks for having me on Corr's Corner.
Now, I'm with Mallory Higgins from the National Apprenticeship Programme for commis chefs throughout the entire country.
Yeah.
Mallory, this is a relatively new programme in the hospitality industry. How successful has it been?
Yeah, it's been quite successful so far. So we've been going since 2017, a bit of a slow start, but thankfully it's kind of gathered a bit of momentum, especially after COVID and how COVID has hit the industry. I think employers now kind of look to us as, I suppose, a recruitment tactic to kind of get people into the industry.
Yeah, and what's in it for young people that might take up an apprenticeship? What is the career path that they can follow?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a diverse industry and such a diverse career. So the commis chef kind of gives you the foundational skills, and I suppose then they can progress, you know, throughout the 2 years, and then they can branch off in any direction. We've had commis chefs go into product development. We've them to progress into head chef, chef de partie levels. Yeah, there's such a range, you know, it's absolutely fantastic. Even our instructors, you know, teaching skills. There's so much that the chef can get into.
I suppose it's a career that normally in the past attracted young men. But
yes.
Are you getting more young women to come into it now?
Absolutely. No, I think our ratio at the moment is about 60-40, so 60% males, 40% females, but it's an absolutely incredible career for females. And yeah, I would definitely encourage, you know, a lot of our instructors are female also. Yeah, and it's for both genders.
For young people taking up that program, first of all, do they get paid during it? And secondly, how long a period is it before they become fully qualified?
So it's a 2-year program. But they're working immediately. So they're employed, and their employer registers them onto the program. It's their employer that pays them for their 2 days in college and then 3 days with their employer. So they're paid for their 5 days, and it's 2 years, as I said, and at the end they have a level 6 qualification.
And how attractive has the program been to employers?
to employers, very attractive. I won't lie, sometimes, it takes a bit of time to get them into the mindset of, training and, I suppose mentoring the next generation, but it's the way forward. And I feel like once the employer gets on board, he or she, keep on sending apprentices to us then. Once they see the benefit, they'll reoccur.
So it's a whole new generation of young men and
Absolutely.
young women becoming chefs thanks to this program.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the kind of the great thing about it, especially your instructors. And so you have an instructor and a mentor on the job when they're training on the job, and those guys are experts in their game, and they're transferring all their skills and all their knowledge onto the apprentice. So that's to mentor the next generation coming forward.
Okay, Mallory, thank you very much for talking to us.
You're very welcome.
With Simon Regan, who's a chef instructor on the apprenticeship program. Simon, young people coming into the industry that have never been in it before, is it a big culture shock for them?
I wouldn't say it's a big culture shock. The people that would join this industry, obviously, they're naturally drawn to this industry. If we have to go and kind of chase and entice people into this industry, it's probably not the industry for them. We can see today the people that's drawn to this, they're really keen, they're really eager to actually come and kind of maybe talk and investigate a little bit more about the industry. It's not a culture shock because obviously they have some bit of homework done, and you have to have a genuine passion and an interest for it. That can start at school or it can start at home, and then obviously we want to transition that kind of passion into a professional setting. And obviously with that comes obviously there's bigger challenges, like obviously there's a lot more pressure is involved, but that pressure should drive on the passion and kind of make them progress through the different progression routes that's available within the industry.
We think of apprentices as young people who learn the basic skills in their trades, which might be very traditional. Do you still teach all of those basic cookery skills, or has the technology changed it dramatically?
There's two parts on it. The technology 100% has changed, but we have everyone that comes onto the course or onto the apprenticeship has to start with the fundamentals. They haven't changed in 100 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everybody has to know them, and that's a really, really important part with the industry, because industry itself may not have the time or the personnel in industry to teach those. And with convenience foods now, a lot of those fundamental skills are taken out of industry because they don't have the time or the personnel to teach that. So when we get them into college, we have the time and we have the facilities and the skill set to teach all the fundamentals. And then obviously we can progress to that. And as they progress through the apprenticeship, then we can start to build in and incorporate the new technologies that is available in industry. But first of all, everyone starts on a level playing field, and they have to understand the basics and fundamentals, and they haven't changed and they won't change.
But the diversity of food also on offer in our restaurants and hotels has widened very considerably to take in cuisines from all over the world.
Yeah.
So is that kind of thing now taught in the schools as well?
Absolutely, yeah, because and even traditionally we might have had 20, 30 years ago, the majority of the people might have been kind of local or Irish nationals that's on the program, but now obviously we have such a wide variety of different cultures in our country, and that has kind of transitioned over into college. So we could have a lot of different cultures actually in our college. And we do have one particular module which is international cuisine or world cuisine, and that kind of specialises and teaches all the apprentices about all the different cultures and foods from around the world, which is really, really important because a lot of those foods are actually available in our country now.
Yeah, they are indeed, and hopefully some of the winners here today will be exposed to even wider international
that would be
cuisine
the
if they
plan.
go on to the World Championship. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Now, I am with George Smith, a distinguished chef and educator, and the Irish mentor for the Young Chef Olympiad here at Worldskills. George, you are today a part of a team from TU Dublin.
Yes,
so why are you present here?
We're
at
here
the
today
exhibition?
to encourage all the people in school to pick their course if they want to get into the catering and hospitality side. We're here to show them all what programmes we do in Grangegarman, TU Dublin University, and also Tala and Blanchardstown. So we're promoting all our courses here today and all the hospitality, from cooking to professional cookery to management, culinary entrepreneurship. All the courses we're promoting here, Frank, all day.
Well, TU Dublin has expanded considerably, and you did of course have the famous college in Corr Brewery,
Yeah, we do.
which you're now in Glasnevin. So, what is the facility in your new facility like now?
Our new facility is a state of the art and it's fabulous now. I mean, we're in the central quadrant, biggest building in it. But you have to remember that it's got a lot bigger since Corr Brewery. We have 19,500 students enrolled last week. 19,500.
Wow.
And in other campuses we're up to about between 28 and 32,000 students. So it is the biggest in the country.
It's enormous and very modern now as well.
Very modern, and all new kitchens and all new programs and all new restaurants.
Yeah.
It's enormous now, but it's great.
George, you have a long and distinguished career as a chef, and you've worked in so many
around 50 years
areas
all
of
over the world. Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give to young people who are thinking of a career as a chef or in hotel and catering?
Well, I tell them to get an education first, Frank. I always tell them, and once they're in an education, it doesn't matter where they're doing it, whether it's in Athlone or down the country in Kerry, whether it's in Dublin, get your career, get your academics behind you first, because as soon as you get them professional cooker, an honours degree or a master's in anything, the world's your oyster, Frank, because years ago all we had was a degree, and I've travelled to about 57 countries over the world in the last 50 years, which I'm very lucky, because I always wanted to be a chef and I stayed a chef, and I was very lucky to go to all these countries and feed all these VIP persons. And I tell all the young people that come in, you can be cooking for the best pop stars you like next year. You can be on the private yacht the following year, and that's happening now.
Is it? Yeah. So there's much more opportunity.
Oh, bigger opportunities. All the private yachts, every private millionaire has their own private house. They want their private chefs now. There weren't many about in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, but now they're everywhere all over the world.
Well, George, when I want somebody for my private yacht, I'll ask you first.
No problem with
Thank
that.
you for calling to us.
Yeah, and all the best. Nice speaking to Hospitality News.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless.
I'm with Maureen Corr, who's the People and Culture Director at Ashford Castle, and we're exhibiting here at Worldskills. Maureen, why exhibit at an exhibition like this?
Well, I think this is just a great opportunity for us to attract young people into the industry and show them and showcase what Ashford Castle, what Red Carnation and what the industry can offer to young people. And I think we've all been saying over the last while, that we need young and new recruits into the industry. So we're here promoting that message of how great a place to work it is.
Yes, well, of course, Ashford Castle is not only famous, but really at the top of the market. So what kind of young people do you try to recruit?
We're looking for people with, positive attitudes that are very enthusiastic about, working in the industry, and you just have a natural willingness and desire for hospitality. We're very lucky and fortunate with the level of skills that we have in the hotel, that we feel somebody with the right attitude, we can train them, we can develop them, we can prepare them for a life in this industry, but the right attitude is so important.
Mind you, the industry, the hotel sector in particular, is often criticised for offering dead-end jobs. So can you offer a career path that would, lead upwards with an indefinite end to the ladder?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our own management development program. So if somebody wants to study, that's an option for them, but they can also work with us and, develop in the career that way as well. And, in Ashford Castle, so many of our managers, supervisors are all people who have come in entry-level positions and have worked hard, have shown that interest and enthusiasm. And where people do that, they're going to be rewarded with opportunities that become available. And we're showcasing one of our videos here today, and all the people, our financial controller, our sales directors, they're all people that have come in to Ashford in entry-level positions. So where we have people within, we want to reward them and thank them for their service. So there's so many doors and options available in this industry.
So hopefully today or over the next few days you'll meet a future general manager.
I hope so. I hope so.
And I hope you're very successful in attracting really
Fingers
talented
crossed.
people.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you, Frank.
I'm with Jordan Keelty Barons, who works at Ashford Castle Hotel, but was also the winner of the restaurant service competition here at Worldskills last year. Congratulations, Jordan.
Thank you very much.
What was the experience like?
It was fantastic. It was a tough 3 days, but the whole build up to it, the whole experience was unforgettable, and the skills that I've learnt preparing for the competition and throughout the 3 days are going to stand to me for the rest of my day.
Well, when you do something like restaurant service, I mean, is it broken down into a whole lot of specific skills? And could you tell us about some of them?
Yeah, so it's broken down over the 3 days. You'll come in on the first morning and you'll have napkin folding and tablecloth, boxing tablecloths.
Yeah.
You'll have then to set up your mise en place, get all your tables set up for a banqueting service. You'll carry out the full banqueting service, and then it'll be into a fine dining service. And then on day 2 will be cocktail making. And then you'll also have to showcase throughout the different services flambe skills, carving meat, plating techniques. So there's a whole host of different elements throughout the whole.
You don't think of it being so wide and having so many skills, really?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
And of course, it's a very important thing of it relating to the customer.
Yes, and it's all about being personal. The judges are watching how you're interacting with the judges. It's not about just getting everything done. It's how you interact with the guests and how you perform. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to practice those skills or put them into practice in Ashford?
Oh, of course, yeah. So before in the preparation and the lead up to the competition, I would have been heavily working with the barmen, the senior managers on the floors, in the restaurants, and also in college in ATU. I studied in ATU, so the lectures would have helped me as well. So all the skills that we've learnt are every day I use them. I don't even think about them now, they're just automatically implemented.
Well, you're climbing the ladder at Ashford, you're a duty manager now.
Correct, yeah.
What is your ambition? Where would you like your career to develop?
Certainly gain as much experience. I'm going to do a little bit of travelling, see how other properties work, other countries, how they operate in hospitality, and one day I'd like to bring all my skills and everything that I've learnt and look at maybe my own property and maybe a small little boutique hotel or something like that.
That's a good plan, Jordan.
Yeah.
We wish you every success with it.
Great.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
I'm with Garrett Buckley of Event House, who are the organisers of Worldskills 23. Garrett, what a wonderful exhibition.
Frank, delighted to see you again at Worldskills. Appreciate you were here last year, and delighted to say that this year's Worldskills 2023 is even larger than last year. We have 31 skills this year, and we hope to welcome, would you believe, 30,000 students over the 3 days.
It's incredible. You just had to look at the bus park out there. They were coming from all over the country.
As my mother would say, be careful what you wish for. And we've wished for this for a long, long time. So I guess I've been in the event business for over 30 years, and there's been a skills element to every show that we organise, whether it's a catering show that has chef competitions, a construction show that has electrical, plumbing competitions. Our dream was to bring all of these skills together under one roof and bring mums and dads, students, and most importantly, teachers, so that they can see all of these career opportunities that are available. So it's not just send your children off to college. There are just so many other opportunities available.
I remember this for many years, which was the National Apprenticeship Competition.
That's exactly
and there'd be one bit of it in Bolton Street, another bit in Kevin Street, another bit in Corr Street. So how did it all come together to this huge, big exhibition?
Like everything, volunteers with passion. So we started a conversation with some of the team in TU Dublin and MTU in 2018, who have been running those national competitions in their own colleges since 1950. Choosing a national champion to represent Ireland to go off to the Worldskills Olympics. And Ireland as a nation has been really, really, really successful at the Worldskills Olympics, but it's a great secret. Nobody was aware of it. So what we've tried to do is just elevate that, bring all of the competitions under one roof, and let the mums and dads of this world see, I suppose, the skills that are available, skills that are out there.
Yeah, and it also gives a wonderful opportunity for young students to come here to look at the vast amount of choice that they have. And of course, the hospitality industry is very well represented. I was delighted to see the level of cooperation with so many hospitality industry organisations involved here today.
Yeah, well, I guess it's on a need basis, isn't it, Frank? So we know we have a huge skills shortage. We have a labour shortage in the hospitality industry, and we do in the construction industry as well. So we have to get into the schools, and we have to get to mums and dads, change perceptions, show people that there is a really, really valuable career to be had, whether it's a chef, whether it's front of house kitchen, or if it's a plumber or electrician. There's a rewarding career out there for you, and that's really what this show is all about.
So it used to be called the Skills Olympics. It's now called Worldskills.
Yes.
Next year we'll have the Olympics in Paris, and we'll have the Worldskills Olympics in Leon.
In Leon in 2024.
We should be all booking our tickets, Gareth.
Correct, and all putting the green jersey on.
I hope
and we'll take some gold medals home from Leon.
I hope you'll be wearing the jersey.
We will indeed.
Thanks.